Hello, everybody. Today I'm with somebody who's very, very special. The man behind some of the ambitious projects happened in Dubai recently, the one and only Dr. Baydoun.
Nice to see you, Adil, and thank you for hosting me today.
Doctor, it is going to be very, very exciting. Normally when I'm doing podcasts, the host is nervous and I'm controlling the conversation, but I think today is going to be other way around. Just because you are more technical than me. I am very, very technical in the market, but I think you are more technical in square feet. And so you're going to beat me there for sure.
We're here to exchange knowledge, to share with the audience some insights they didn't hear before.
Yes.
We want to tell them what's happening behind the scenes and how the beautiful project that they're seeing, how they're being cooked in the kitchen.
So I'll start it in my way. Why Dubai, doctor?
Look, if you look at the global scene, first, before why Dubai, let me start with one more basic question. Why real estate, right?
Yeah.
Any investor on this planet needs to make his money work for him. And usually you have four classic asset classes. You have stocks, you have gold, you have crypto, you have real estate. The only asset that you could leverage among the four is real estate. You cannot take a mortgage to buy gold, right? But you could do that to buy a property. And the only proper income generating asset among the four is real estate. Because even in dividends for the stocks, those are nominal and the percentage is not high, which makes real estate an obvious choice. If you look at the global scene, you have Miami, which is expensive and not highly safe. Europe, which is suffering from taxation, and now also it's not one of the safest places. Singapore, which is an island, heavy on tax, particularly for the expats. And you have Dubai, the safety haven, amazing investment environment, one of the easiest places on the planet in which you could establish a business and run it. Also, at the same time, most of the millionaires and the billionaires of the planet move to Dubai. And up till now, the price of the property per square foot is still a fraction of the price of the property in major cities in Europe like London. That's why Dubai is an obvious choice.
And when you think we will see those prices, what we see in Hong Kong or London or Singapore, in Dubai, in how many years from now?
I think that would require at least 10 to 20 years.
Okay, 10 to 20 years. So meaning by we are targeting about 2040.
I believe so, and I'll explain to you why. Because cities, they move in cycles. So now you have a concentration of high-rise buildings or high-rise developments in certain areas in Dubai. And then you have horizontal development in major areas. What happens once the whole area or the whole city is developed, and we are very close to that, by the way, then you're going to start with the recycling process. You're going to go to the old developments, knock them down, build the new buildings. And you're going to see that the concentration of development will change. A lot of areas that are classified as horizontal for villas and apartments, those are going to become towers. Once you reach this stage, which is I'm anticipating somewhere between 10 to 15 years, then you will see that the prices of properties will be skyrocketed because it's a matter of supply and demand. Once you have locked the supply, no more extra lands, and you are forced to maximize capitalization on the existing land, the value of properties will inevitably skyrocket.
And what is luxury?
Look, luxury is all about the exclusivity. Many people say luxury is about the finishes, it's about this, it's about that. Luxury is all about the exclusivity. So, to have something exclusive from a property perspective, you need the right location.
Yeah.
You need limited number of units in the building. This is very important.
Yeah.
You cannot have luxury in a building that has 1,000 units. Impossible.
And what about 100 units?
100 units still acceptable because it's all relative. 100 units, you still can control the quality of the building. You are controlling your environment. Because remember, when you buy a property, you're buying the neighbors and the community that comes with it. That's why in Dubai, you will find many areas that used to be a luxury before are not considered as luxury anymore. The definition of luxury changed in Dubai. And one of the major drivers for that is the communities and location within which you have a concentration of high net worth individuals that like to socialize together, that like to be together, and of course, do business together.
So here's my next question. And I always have arguments on this matter with different people. So there is a high-end community which is not associated with any luxury brand, versus a standalone building in one of the very highly concentrated areas with the luxury brand associated with it. So which one for you would be luxury?
Are you talking about a community that's horizontal or that's vertical?
Well, technically the communities are horizontal, not vertical. Yeah.
Then you are comparing apples to oranges. Because in the community, you are getting in a villa the outdoor experience,
Yeah.
you're getting the privacy, you're getting the amenities, but you cannot get in a villa the view that you can get from an apartment, particularly if it's in a prime area. It's impossible. Also, at the same time, the convenience that comes with the apartment is a different level from a servicing perspective. So each one of those, they have different clientele, different target clientele. Both can be luxury, both can be at the same level of luxuriness, if for the lack of better words, but those are two different beasts.
But then what a luxury brand has to do with all this, which is associated with any of the buildings? Let's say it could be a fashion brand, it could be some car brand, it could be a watch brand. Like what difference it makes?
It depends on the developer, because in many buildings in Dubai, many people, they use the brand name just to put it on the brochure. In reality, you don't have anything from the DNA of the brand being used.
Yes.
Whether that's for the interior or in some cases the exterior.
So that's for marketing?
It depends also on the deal. The people, they don't go into the detail. The level lies in the details. So you need to check what is the portion of the project that's being branded. Is it just the common areas? Is it just the lobby? Are the finishes of the unit that you are buying, will they be branded or not? Is the unit furnished or not? What's the sourcing of that furniture? When you are getting a branded furniture, is it just the fabric or the whole piece? There are so many layers of branding that people are not aware of. And very, very importantly, will the name of the brand being put on the building or not? No one asks those questions.
Okay, so let's say if I'll put the name of the brand on the building, what difference it makes?
Look, it's again the sense of exclusivity.
Yeah.
You are wearing a Rolex, right?
Yes.
If I give you the same watch, but I'm going to remove the logo and call it X, will it have the same value?
Probably no.
Of course it will not.
Yes.
Even if it's the same material, same grade of steel, same grade of gold. Why? Because you're getting a sense of exclusivity that comes with the property itself. And the name will create that. As an example, let's say you have 10 buildings. One of them, it has a brand on that building. And you have only 70 units in that building. Even if you have 1,000 units in the neighboring that are like very similar, location perspective, a view, but if this one has the name and it has the features that comes with it, because again, back to the previous point that I mentioned, are you using amenities that are inspired by the DNA of the brand? Are you changing the finishes? Are you using the name on the building? Again, it's a very important point. If all of those boxes are ticked, then you have 70 units that are not repeated in the area. Okay. Then you have limited supply in an area with high demand, then the value will go up.
From the end user perspective, of course, you do a lot of research before designing any of the projects. So let's say I am looking for a luxury apartment. I would go for space or I would go for brand. Which one I would choose?
It depends on your preference. And it depends on your purpose.
But
also.
What does the current market say? Like which one having more demand? More, because what we see in the recent developments that all the developers are squeezing the sizes and offering high quality instead. Versus if you go to the older developments, I mean the finishes were very basic, but then the sizes were very big. So is it a trend which you are following? That is it a study which you are looking where you see that majority of the people, they don't mind having smaller spaces, but they are looking for more luxury or maybe better finishes?
Look, the matter is a bit deeper than this. There is a principle that we need to be very clear about. When you buy a property and you have a budget, when you have a limited budget, not an open budget, then you need to accept a list of compromises that comes within this budget. The compromises is not across the board. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a budget of around 3 million dirhams. You can either buy a large unit somewhere in Dubai land, very large unit. It can
Correct.
be even a townhouse.
Yes.
Or you could have a nice 2-bedroom somewhere in Business Bay or in downtown. When you are in Business Bay or downtown, you are buying the proximity to the city center. You are accepting the smaller size. You're
Yes.
accepting the smaller unit because you want to be closer to the amenities. Maybe you work in Business Bay, so you want to be at close proximity to your house. For someone else, the size is more important. The lifestyle that comes with the community is more important. So he'll be compromising on the travel distance between his house and where he works for the sake of having the bigger space and having the lifestyle that comes with that bigger space.
No, but that I completely agree. But from the recent trends, majority of the projects, even which are coming a little in suburbs of Dubai, which are like the developing areas of Dubai, even in the new communities. I don't want to name the communities, but I've seen that the sizes are squeezing down. Like the new apartments are coming up with open kitchens, open style, a 1 bedroom is coming for 500 600 square feet, but earlier it was not like that. If you go to the older developments, the sizes were like 1500 square feet. So is it like the demand or the acceptance or the market demand, okay, which is accepting the smaller size? Because even if, for example, let's say, even if I have a budget and I'm looking for a nice big size, a 1000 square feet size 1 bedroom apartment in upcoming new developments in the premium location, I think it's still hard to find, doesn't matter what developer. So is it like the developers are finding it more cost effective, or is it like the demand is like that?
From a cost effectiveness perspective, no, it's not more cost effective, by the way.
So if I will make a 1000 square feet apartment, it will be hard to sell?
No, it's not about selling it. Like, you need to take this a step back because your question is not about selling it.
Yeah.
Your cost is about cost effectiveness.
Yes.
These are two different questions.
Yes.
From a cost effectiveness perspective, when you have a smaller unit, your overall price per square foot is higher, not lower.
Okay.
Of course. I'll explain to you why. Because the two most expensive items in a building, in an apartment actually, are the kitchen and the toilet. If the 1 bedroom is big or small, you're still gonna need a kitchen, you're still gonna need a bathroom, correct?
Yes.
So when you have a bigger unit, the cost per square foot is less because you're distributing these two expensive items on a bigger area. Plus, if the 1 bedroom is big or small, you're gonna need a parking anyway, correct? So also there is something you need to be very aware of, and that's one of the classic mistakes that most of the rookie developers, they fall into. They just look at the unit, the size, ticket price, I can sell at this, I can design, I can launch, everyone is happy. And that's why many of the developers are falling in the trap of not making money or even getting bankrupt. I'll explain. Let's say when you buy area that's sitting on top of a building, you're buying the GFA, the gross floor area, which basically includes the internal area of the unit, excluding the balconies,
Yes.
and it includes also the circulation spaces, including the lobby.
Yes.
When you sell the internal area of the unit plus the balcony. All of this is sellable area.
Yes.
Balcony is coming for free.
Yes.
However, when you are paying for the contractor, you're paying him for his BUA, built-up area.
Built-up area.
I know that in the sales world, everyone calls sellable area built-up area. These are two different things. Built-up area includes the internal area of the unit, the corridors, the balconies,
Yes.
the parking,
Yes.
basements or podiums. Everything is covered.
Yes.
So a smart designer will know how to maximize the ratio of sellable area to GFA and sellable area to BUA. In the case of having a very small unit, and this is the trap many developers fall into, they think because there is a demand on the smaller unit and on the lower ticket price, I reduce, I sell. It's a smart commercial decision. But he's missing out on the fact that maybe it's better for him to price the square foot at a less value as opposed to increasing his sellable area to built-up area ratio, reducing the number of car parking spaces, reduce the portion per square foot from the kitchen and from the bathroom, which can lead actually to higher profitability and more satisfied customers. Many people, they don't, and it's an art, by the way. It's not there is one magic number. I study this project by project, case by case, because also I'm gonna make things even more complicated for you. If you are an investor, the ratio of rent to property value is not proportionate.
Yes.
It's not like when I have like 100 or 10%, the unit is bigger by 10%. It doesn't mean you're gonna get 10% extra.
Yes, absolutely.
These are not proportionate.
Yes.
So therefore, you need to have so many parameters you need to balance. From one side, you need to make sure that your buyers are making money. You are optimizing your cost. You're maximizing not your revenue, your profit. These are two different things. And also there's another factor, I'm not going to make this too complex, which is the velocity of sales.
Yes.
The speed at which you're going to sell, which impact your IRR, which is driven by the time value of money.
From the time you joined DAMAC, I saw a trend and I wanted to ask secret behind it. Majority of the projects coming, high-rise buildings, all units, same view. All units front facing. From where this is coming from where? And none of them actually, and nobody is trying to even copy it. It's just such a smart idea.
Honestly, that's one of the smartest questions I've ever had in any interview, by the way, Adil. And thank you for asking this question. Because even if they want to try to copy it, they will not be able to do that. With all humbleness, with all modesty, they will not be able to.
So this is your magic?
Yes.
Okay. So that's your secret recipe.
It is a secret. It's a secret art, not even a recipe. Because a recipe you can copy it, you can repeat it. If I give you the recipe for a plate, you're gonna be able to do it by yourself.
Yes.
There's no recipe. It's an art. It's like a painting. Every time when I have a plot, first of all, the plot has a different shape.
Exactly.
Second, the view has a different direction.
Yes.
4, it has a different access point. So I work for few days, and I'll be honest now, out of experience, it takes me less time. I try to figure out what's the view direction. How can I maximize on the view? Which geometrical shape will serve me for that purpose?
Yes.
Plus, it's more complex than that. How can I keep the building as geometrically simple as possible? Because if I make it geometrically too complex, remember there's a basement underneath.
Correct.
The basements and the parking will become inefficient.
Yes.
Plus, to make this even complex, when you toy around with the shape and you have a lot of angles, then you're going to have irregular shapes of the units. And
Yes.
you know my units, 95% of them, they come in regular shapes. Why?
Yes.
Because also there is an art by which I know how to allocate the spaces inside, the corridors, the MEP areas. There's an art behind this.
Of course.
So you look at the unit, you see it's pretty geometrical.
And still it is profitable to the developer?
It's more profitable because when you make it more simple, then the construction cost is less. And I have also my tricks by which I keep the building size limited, because there is also one more complication.
Yes.
Once you hit 60 floors plus, you have only a couple of contractors in the country that can execute your project. So they will hold you from your neck. So the art is to design something financially viable at a lower height, technically simple, and that looks sexy from outside, and at the same time allow my company to make money and allow the buyers to make money. That's the art.
No, that's such an art, and I really appreciate that, Doctor. And when you announced the Kawali Tower, the first one, and this is where I got inspired from the idea that I said, oh my God, this guy is going to bring a revolution in the industry, because this is such a revolutionary idea. And then you came up with DAMAC Bay 1 and 2 and stuff. Such an amazing idea. And the profitability to the developer, the profitability to the investor, and then in such a market, and also this is such a smart idea, in such a market where people are fighting for units, and us as brokers, we are fighting for our clients' units, and all the investors are looking for front units. So no problems, everybody is going to get the same thing, right?
100%.
And even lower floor units are easy to sell in such cases. So even commercially, it's making a lot of sense and such an art. And I was always curious that if it was that simple, why others are not doing it?
They will not be able to, even if they try. And they tried. And look, I know, I have insight. They tried to copy many of the things I do, and they failed.
Okay. Now, from the time you started, your journey into communities, we have noticed like a lot of amenities already. Like I'm ex DAMAC, so when we used to sell DAMAC Hills back in 2014-15, we used to claim that one of the communities having a lot of amenities. And when it was handed over, I still found out that yes, DAMAC Hills has ample amount of amenities. And obviously, you were not at that time. You were not in DAMAC, but then.
But by the way, the park of DAMAC is one of the first things I worked on, the design of the park when I joined the company.
Yes, and this is where we started change. We started seeing the change. The trend was completely different when DAMAC Hills 2 a golf course was removed and then a park was added.
True.
And DAMAC Hills 2 was such a boring community back then. You know, it was designed on a different concept with Vista Lux and stuff like that, which is not very practical in that location. And Vista Lux was like another Sukul Bahar coming up in DAMAC Hills 2, which was not making sense. But when you removed the entire and you did, Tiger Woods fans would not like it probably, but you removed the Tiger Woods golf course and put a nice park there. I think DAMAC Hills 2 park is one of the best in the entire city.
I agree.
Right? And that is what made people move to DAMAC Hills 2. Otherwise, it was always far for people. And today, I think it is one of the most desired community in Dubai. It is very, very affordable. It is good for investors. It's giving good returns. I know people that are making 10%, 12%, 13% ROIs in a location like DAMAC Hills 2, which is considered far away. It's not far away. That's again a debatable thing. And now other developers are launching next to it with such a high price is not comparable to DAMAC Hills 2. So I think people who invested in DAMAC Hills 2 will thanks to you. Probably you, because you put the life in DAMAC Hills 2 to make it livable. Otherwise, with golf course, with small houses, it would have been a big struggle. So the point, adding a lot of amenities in projects like Lagoons, DAMAC Islands 1, DAMAC Islands 2, Riverside. From the sales perspective, even the person who buys it and the person who's selling it, it's very difficult to even memorize the number of amenities and their names. And I don't know from where they come from. I don't know if it's ChatGPT or something.
Comes from here. Remember 2018 when I started, there was no ChatGPT.
Yeah. So Jungle River and all that stuff, and some words are hard to remember. And people, they just say, oh, I see a lot of water, a lot of amenities, let's buy it. Let's not go into it. I don't think so, but it's such an inspiring. From profitability, from the profitability perspective, like maintaining the price per square foot in a project like DAMAC Islands, 1,200 dirhams per square foot, where competitors are selling for 1,800 dirhams per square foot with less amenities, less open spaces. How you do that? And how DAMAC is making money out of it? It looks close to impossible to me, to be honest.
Look, again, thank you for the question. Because what people do not realize is that when it comes to amenities, the devil lies in the details. And that's the difference between someone that will go to ChatGPT and try to now come up with some crazy idea. Said, we can do this. But how to technically execute it?
Yeah.
How are you going to put the structure? How are you going to put the detailing? I'll give you an example, more concrete example. Let's take the example of water bodies. Let's take the example of DAMAC Lagoons. There's a very intelligent way by which we have designed the width of the water. From one side, we are maximizing the view. From the other side, through the inclination of the water, we have reduced the need for...
Motors?
No. For retaining walls on the sides. Retaining walls are very expensive.
Yes.
You need concrete, you need steel. And imagine doing this on the whole length of the water. So what's the smart alternative? You make it wide enough for the people to be able to have a proper view and for you to cover the inclination angle that's required technically for the slope to stand on its own. And just you put waterproofing on top of it and you do all the layering of the lagoons.
But is it reliable?
100%.
Because coming to sorry to interrupt you, doctor, but I have seen in some lagoon communities where lagoon is struggling. So, and they are like very high-end communities sold at a very high-end price. So, are we going to see the same thing in DAMAC Lagoons?
In DAMAC Lagoons, you have a very sophisticated system to maintain the quality of the water and the quality of the experience. That has been tested multiple times. Do you know that in DAMAC lagoons, you have a control system for the water that's based not just in Dubai, but also based in Europe? There is a control panel, a control room sitting in Europe that's controlling the quality of the water and the adhesives to be added to it. You have cameras spread across the whole lagoons, not just for security purposes, by the way. People think it's only for security. It's also to control the quality of the water because they have special sensors. You're going to have robots floating at the bottom of the lagoons, collecting any impurities in the water. So what people failed in, we thought about it. And why we are able to afford it, again, back to the more important point, is the smart design. And the smart design by which you can make this structure simple to hold it. But now I thought you're going to ask me even a harder question, by the way. How about the service charge?
This is exactly what so profitability, for example, first, I still need to answer.
Go ahead.
That you are putting a lot of amenities in a community and the density of units is, of course, it's decreasing. So where you could add a lot of units to it to make it more profitable. How, let's say, as an example, you managed to announce price per square foot of 1,200 dirhams per square foot in DAMAC Islands. Like how did you manage to do that? Because I know neighborhood communities over there. I mean, the prices are not less than 1,800 and the amenities are close to nothing and the facilities and the layouts and stuff and sizes are even smaller and stuff. So how the developer is making profit, or they are compromising on the profit, or maybe it is more profitable. How it is?
I'll explain to you.
Huh.
The problem with the, again, rookie developers is that they don't understand efficiencies. And when I say efficiency, it's efficiency at the level of the community. So when you buy a piece of land, you have a certain area of GFA you have to consume. The more roads you have, the more open spaces you have, the more squeezed you are in consuming your GFA. The art starts from the roads. Do you get premium for having roads? You don't get premium for that. So the smart thing that you need to start with, how you can minimize the length and the area of your roads. And that's a pure geometrical exercise.
It's mathematics.
Mathematics and geometry. How can you make every single road double loaded, not single loaded? For me, it's a crime to have single loaded. A crime. I will never allow this. Buy this and can minimize the percentage of roads. For the sake of example, I'm going to give you a few numbers. You have the land. Usually, most of the developers, they are forced to go up to 40% of their land to be allocated for roads.
Yes.
I can take it to 30% minus. How? It's the art of design.
Okay.
Second, you have the open spaces. In communities, how many corners, green corners you've seen that no one is using?
Yes.
Waste of space.
Yes.
I don't do that. I amalgamate it in one big, massive, huge space. Very impressive that everyone is enjoying. What's the point of having a green patch in the community left somewhere between the townhouses that no one is even noticing?
Yes.
I don't allow that. I concentrate all of this in major spaces, massive big, to create the wow effect and to create the environment within which people can interact. Remember, people are not just buying the property, they're coming the lifestyle and the sense of belonging to the community.
And I agree with that.
Once I do all of this, imagine the amount of efficiency and cost reduction that I've done in the community. That will allow me to invest more in the amenities and make sure that everyone is happy. Developer is making money, customer is also happy. Plus, add to this what I told you earlier, the technical intelligence in designing each amenity by itself to make it as simple as possible. And I use the example of the lagoons. I have so many examples. I'm using this for the sake of simplicity. That will allow you to reduce the construction cost and allow people to enjoy.
So why not golf course and why lagoon?
Because we needed a new storyline when we launched lagoons. Everyone was launching golf courses. And at that point in time, it was something that's consumed. Lagoons was to some extent less consumed in the market. And that's why we have used this. Plus, a golf course is something that it's very nice to look at, but if you're not a golfer, you will not use.
Yes.
However, lagoons is liked by almost everyone. Everyone would like to swim, particularly in Dubai when the weather is hot. Everyone wants to jump into the water, but not everyone is interested in playing golf.
Yes.
So we target a wider spectrum of people. We had a stronger storyline. And if you remember, lagoons in particular, when we launched it, the whole idea was to launch the Mediterranean experience in Dubai. But do you know how the idea of DAMAC lagoons came up?
Yeah, I want to know that.
I'll let you know. So when we bought the land, we were considering many ideas. And remember, that was back in 2021.
Yes.
Everyone in the market was nervous. Market was
yes.
not like now. So what shall be the USP? Is it, again, the golf course? Is it the park? Is it this? Is it that? So I brought all of the team of the designers to one room and the consultants. And I brought my secretary and I asked her to give each one of them one piece of paper and a pen. And I asked everyone to close their eyes. People are, what? Why should we close them? Don't worry.
You want to throw water on them?
Yeah, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen. Just close your eyes and think of the destination of your next vacation.
Okay.
I gave them a few minutes. When they opened their eyes, I asked them not to talk to anyone next to them. Just write down on the piece of paper the name of the destination. My secretary collected all the pieces of paper and she plotted on a whiteboard all the names.
Don't tell me they are the cluster names.
We did not reach that point yet. Then I started noticing the pattern. What's common between all of them? I noticed that most of them were focusing on water in Mediterranean locations. And I told the guys, I found it. We're going to recreate the Mediterranean experience in Dubai. 8 clusters, 8 different cities, 8 architectural styles. That's going to be the concept. Then we started together, working together to develop the ideas, which are the cities we're going to pick up, which architectural style, which are the amenities, how we're going to collect and connect the storyline together, how we're going to create one water body connecting all those cities for one person to be able to experience the full Mediterranean experience in one day in Dubai. This is how we came up with the idea.
Amazing idea, by the way. It changed the entire, concept about communities. It changed the image of DAMAC in the market. And Lagoon was the first successful projects. Like, even DAMAC Hills back in days was not selling this faster like DAMAC Lagoons. Okay, now and this is the trend which other developers are also following. But I have not
Trying
seen,
to follow.
trying to follow, but I think it's very, very hard to follow.
It is.
And then DAMAC Lagoons and then DAMAC Islands. And I think even the future communities will be with the same ideas, or maybe you will come up with something different.
Every time we have a new storyline.
Storyline is the same. Okay, you have a new storyline, but it's you're just following water, adding water everywhere.
This time it's going to be, not this time, in the future we have already actually like a pipeline of ideas in my hand. But the thing is, every single time you're going to have a new experience.
Correct.
And when I say storyline, it's not just something that you would say on the deal table. It's something that's rooted in the product that you're selling, rooted in the community that you have designed from day one. So a storyline is not just something that you mention or just you don't just use words to describe it. It's something that you live.
Now, one more question. You were brave enough to design those a la carte villas in the beginning, which was such a surprise. People who recently joined real estate, they would not even know what is a la carte.
Exactly.
But this is where the inspiration, and this is where I started actually liking you. That, oh my God, this guy is genius. Because see, I'm into a lot of details. I'm selling properties for more than 15 years. And yes, I have seen a lot of big developers, big designers. I've sold luxury properties, but I have not seen such smart ideas, and I have not seen people are following that. People are probably just following the trends or just copy paste, just do the same thing, but they don't do something which is creative. Now, a la carte villas. First question, from where this idea come from? Because that was actually the turning point of DAMAC and actually proving themselves that yes, our communities are one of the best in the market. That was actually the main turning point of DAMAC becoming super popular in customers and in broker community, where brokers actively started working on things. So it was like attracting everything. You pulled everything towards you with that idea. First thing, we have not noticed anything, any community or any developer offering park facing townhouses with such a price point. I think it was 1.4 million back then.
Correct.
Insane idea. And me being ex DAMAC, understanding Mr. Sajwani's mindset, he would never allow that. He would always want bigger houses facing the golf course like everybody else. So how did you manage to come up with this idea and then convince them and make it happen? And what is this a la carte and why you are not continuing that?
Okay, I'll explain to you. The way I came up with the idea is a bit weird, actually, because we had a challenge at that point in time. At that point in time in the market, there's a very high demand on lower ticket items.
Yes.
So bigger villas were not in demand at all. Second, there wasn't high demand on apartments also.
Yes.
And we had a good chunk of inventory left in the apartment that we were working on. So the idea was how to consume the maximum amount of GFA in the remaining lands and still give people something different. And I was with the team coming up with ideas, bigger plot, smaller plot, different typology, and we could not crack it. Then it was a weekend time. On Sunday, I was having shower actually. I was having the shower and the idea hit in my head. I went out directly after I finished my shower and I wrote it down for me not to forget it. Then I brought my team the first thing on Monday morning. Told them, guys, we're gonna create the first a la carte experience in real estate in Dubai and maybe in the whole world. And
Probably yes. In the whole world. I have not seen this anywhere.
Too.
Yeah.
I'm saying probably because I'm not sure if someone did it before me and we didn't hear about it. But as far as I know, no one did it before.
Yeah.
And I told them we're going to make things even more interesting. I want to do it in townhouses, not in villas. Because in townhouses, in villas, it's easier, by the way.
Yeah, and people are doing in villas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Townhouses, the problem is that townhouses, they're connected, they come in rows.
Yes.
The first reaction, guess what? They told me, doctor, it's impossible, forget about it. So guys, I'm going to make it happen. They said, how? How are you going to make it work? I told them, listen to this. I took a piece of paper and a pen. Told them, let's take, as an example, a row of townhouses. I'd like to fix the width. And at the same time, I'm going to fix the location point of the structures and the location point of the shafts, the MEP. But I'm going to play around with the layouts. I want to allow people to have their own layout, different options. I want to give people the option to select their own facade. I want the people to decide if they want to have access to the rooftop or not. They want a pool or not. I want people to have the opportunity to decide if they want 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, or 5-bedroom. They said impossible. Then wait, you will see. We'll make it happen. Then I worked closely with the engineering team and I explained to them my idea. Of course, everyone was pushing back at the beginning. Then I cracked it. I created one grid, and that grid will allow me to shift between 3, 4, and 5-bedroom, will allow me to have access of the rooftop or not, will allow me to fix the location of all the MEP areas, and even allow me to change the facade if I want, from one type to another. Technicality is done. Okay, but now how are we going to have the sales experience? Started doing my homework, getting in touch with agencies. Then I found a guy that has a company in Russia. And I explained to him the idea that I have in my mind. He told me, we've never done it in our life before, but if anyone can do it, I can do it for you. They flew into Dubai. I met them. I explained to them the idea. They told me, look, and they started working with me before signing the contract.
Mm-hmm.
They told me, like, we love the idea so much that I'll be willing to do it for free. Of course, he did not do it for free, but told me, I'm willing to do it for free. We worked together for 3 months. We started working on the coding, the experience, how people are going to enter, how they're going to be able to select the plot and then choose the layout.
A lot of people listening to this, they will say, why we don't have option now? And all your new projects will look very outdated already.
Compared to this. So we've been through the whole experience of choosing what you want. And then by the end, the platform will generate it for you, the price of the unit. You didn't need to talk to anyone. And then either
the system will tell you.
You send it to yourself by email, WhatsApp, or a salesperson will call you. It's going to be your decision. You book the unit and done. It's connected to Salesforce. That was the idea. Now you're going to ask me why we did not repeat this.
Yes.
For two reasons. One of them was the speed of sale. By the way, I forgot to tell you something very important. Because you asked me, how did we manage to do a townhouse?
Yeah.
Because a townhouse is usually you don't do it in a park.
Yes.
Today I'm in the mood of revealing one secret. What's very important to drive value is the density of a GFA on the plot.
Yes.
And listen to this, the density, not the quantity, the density is different. So when you're in a townhouse, particularly if you design it the way I designed it, I can push the FAR to around 1 or even 1 plus in some areas. So by this, the quantity of GFA and area overlooking the golf course, or in the case is the park, is extremely high, which moves up the profitability dimension. But also at the same time, because I kept the sizes within a certain range, the ticket price was very good. That's why it was an amazing sale. People who said we started the selling at 1.4, then we raised this to 1.6, then 1.8. And by the way, I still own one of those villas, by the way. So people loved it, and they were like buying it like they're buying chocolate, because it was, the price was very good.
Yes.
One of the few places in all of Dubai where you can buy a townhouse on the park, and they got the customized experience. Now, why we did not repeat it? Because the sales process became lengthy. When you have a company like DAMAC, particularly when the sales pace started picking up, and you were selling like 10 billion dirham per day, breaking Guinness
Yes.
World Record, it doesn't make sense to give those options, because then that's going to lengthen the process, and accordingly will reduce the volume of sales.
So basically, that idea is good for slower markets.
For slower markets and smaller developers.
Yeah. When the market is slow, I think that idea could really work. And probably, if the market will be slow, you'll bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you inspired from somebody? Who's your inspiration, or who's your mentor?
My mentor unfortunately passed away, actually.
Zaha Hadid?
Yeah. No. Someone. He's not a celebrity, by the way.
Okay.
He used to be my professor at my university. He's the one actually that pushed me to development.
Okay.
This guy liked me so much. I'm quoting him. He used to tell me, like, you are an exceptionally smart person and one of the smartest students I ever had on all of my career.
100%.
Thank
There is no doubt about it. But your favorite architect?
My favorite architect, apart from myself? Currently, at this stage of my life, I like more the work of people like Richard Rogers, John Novell, Norman Foster, because I appreciate the simplicity and beauty. When I was younger, I used to like more people like Zaha Hadid, Frank Gehry, that one that designed the New Guggenheim Museum, because I used to be fascinated by the complexity of the designs.
Yes.
Now I'm more fascinated by the elegance of the design at this stage of my life.
Yeah. So with life, obviously, your point of views are changing, and complexity. Talking about Zaha Hadid, her projects were always complex. Okay. Any project in Dubai which was done by another architect, and you wish that it would have been done by you, and it would have been better?
The project that I really appreciate, and it was done by a friend of mine actually, is the Museum of the Future, that designed by Sean Killer.
Okay.
I'm really fascinated by this project.
Yeah, absolutely. And any of like the commercial projects, for example, I mean, like any of the commercial projects out of DAMAC, you say that this is an amazing project from the architectural perspective.
Look, I'll be very honest. The problem with the projects that are not done by DAMAC and that are commercial is mostly like a copy and paste. Most of them. I'm not going to say
absolutely. I agree with that.
So, and that's for cost efficiency purposes, and because they have one model that they repeat. So I cannot honestly remember any project that in commercial in Dubai that really blew me off my mind, except the ones that we do in DAMAC, with all honesty.
Oh my God, not even Burj Khalifa?
No, Burj Khalifa, it's the symbol of Dubai.
Yes.
Separate story altogether. But I'm talking about...
But then Museum of Future was also symbol of Dubai.
Yeah.
So give me, Doctor, one project, at least like appreciate somebody.
Look, something I used to like when I was a student at the School of... Not a student actually, I graduated, but at the beginning of my career, Burj Al Arab.
Okay.
That's something I really like.
Again, symbol of Dubai.
And I was so happy. But it's commercial.
Yes.
And really, I was so happy when I came to Dubai and saw it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like it even more. Of course, Burj Khalifa is amazing. But I don't know, like, I have an emotional connection to Burj Al Arab in terms of design.
Because of the design, yes.
Yeah.
But then I think now it's under renovation. So now they brought up with Marsal Arab and stuff. Okay. Now, when it comes to high-end projects, luxury properties, of course, this is of commercials are separate things, but here you are trying to make some exceptionally rich people. You're trying to satisfy them, and you're trying to address their needs and requirements. People with no limits in their pockets, and they're willing to pay anything, whatever it takes to get their trophy properties. Now, creating trophy properties is an art. And of course, the first thing they ask is who's the architect, who's the developer, then what's the location, the number of units in the building or in the community. So, what do you think if you are designing, when you're designing a very high-end luxury project, I'm talking about at least $5 million plus, what is the first thing which will come in your mind that you will say, I'm going to make it different than the others?
Two things. When you talk about property at this level, I think you need to combine the best of the villa world and the apartment world in one product. Because we said earlier, what you get in a community or a villa, which is the sense of exclusivity and outdoor experience, you usually don't get the same level in an apartment. And the view of the apartment cannot be matched in a villa.
Yes.
So I need to give the customer the best of both worlds in one project. At the same time, sense of exclusivity again is extremely important.
Yeah.
How I can make him feel that he's the only resident of the project. And at the same time, when he wants, he can mingle with people at his same level.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
an art. That's an art. How to do this? Of course, I know all the technical tricks for that. But those are the principles I usually have in my mind when designing high-end products, particularly for the ticket price that you mentioned, which is $5 million plus.
Yes. So somebody who's willing to pay $5 million plus, what is the first thing he will see? So for example, let's say if I'm asking your suggestion, let's say I'm a developer, and if I want to ask you a suggestion, that I have a location where a lot of buildings are around me and it's not that exclusive. I can name locations, that doesn't mind. For example, Business Bay. Business Bay is one of the locations. I have a plot. I want to build a super high-end luxury project where the starting price is $5 million. Or I give you a location on the canal, on Dubai Canal, or let's say on the coastline of Dubai or on the Palm Jumeirah. And I tell you, okay, pick one location. So which one would you pick?
Dubai Water Canal for sure.
And what makes Dubai Water Canal better than the Business Bay in your opinion?
Because first of all, it's the exclusivity. In Dubai Water Canal, you have exclusivity in number of plots, and you have exclusivity at the level of the buildings. Most of the buildings, they don't have a high number of units. So the overall density of the area is less. Second, it's the affordability threshold of people in the area. That line, and a term I came up with a few years ago, I call it the billionaire's line. Why? Because most of the high net worth individuals, when they move to Dubai and they're looking for a real sense of luxury, they're moving to this area.
But recently I have seen trend that, even in Business Bay, we have seen like very high-end projects coming up. And for me also, because I deal with high net worth individuals, it doesn't make any sense. So who do you think are buying those properties?
It's people that doesn't just have the money. People that they have the money, and at the same time, they're looking for a differentiated experience. Particularly people that they evaluate or they really understand the value of upgrading your lifestyle. People, a few years ago, everyone used to flex, particularly in the real estate market. You know this very well. The car, the watch, you've been this madness, right? And everyone flexing on their stories on social media with this. Nowadays, the new flex is not neither your car nor your watch. The flex nowadays is your lifestyle.
Yes.
And the major environment within which you operate is your home.
Yes.
Particularly in the age of AI, particularly you have so many millionaires and even billionaires that reach this level through businesses like trading, like drop shipping, like businesses that wouldn't require them being physically present in an office to run a company. So if you're operating from your home, you need to make sure that you have the best possible environment for you to be at your highest level of efficiency and to be for your ultimate level of comfort and happiness. That's why upgrading your environment, making sure you are within the right environment, is the new flex nowadays.
But you said AI. Why we don't see a trend coming up in Dubai with smart homes, and why you are not using it a lot? It's like AI friendly homes where I could enter and I say, okay, open the windows, close the windows, something like that. Why you're not using that?
No, the opposite. It's something that's available in most of our high-end villas and properties. But also at the same time, for the affordable properties, it doesn't make sense to introduce it because it becomes so gimmicky and it's so reachable and everyone can access it now. It's not something trendy anymore. To now you can go to Dragon Mart and buy a whole system that can be installed in your house without putting a single wire. They can do this for you in a few hours. And you can spend few thousand dirhams on that. It's not something
But that
expensive.
AI experience, bringing them to communities, bringing them to amenities like common areas, lobbies, gym, stuff like that. You never thought about it?
Look, in the gyms and the common areas, it's already you have smart systems controlling the lighting system and controlling also the air conditioning to make sure that the service charge is low. Now, when it comes to the gyms, this trend is becoming new and it's mostly applicable at the level of home gyms more than the massive gyms. Today, you can buy a mirror. It has an AI coach with the digital weights that you could use in order to have a full-fledged workout customized for your needs. So when for the AI up till now, when you apply it, it makes more sense that you use it at your own home, unless you are an old school person and you like to go to the actual gym.
Furnished apartment, unfurnished apartment. Which one is more profitable for the developer?
Of course, non-furnished.
So selling a furnished apartment means you're compromising on your profitability.
Not really, because you are adding extra equity.
Yes.
That's not necessary. It's as simple as that.
So then why would you not choose to sell furnished apartments? And because see, this is also a trend which I've seen in DAMAC. So previously, before you, a lot of furnished apartments were coming. DAMAC used to launch a lot for, but then after you, then the trend was stopped completely.
Because in general, people now, they have their own personal taste. So if I give you a furniture with a unit and you don't like the furniture, you have to throw it away and get a different furniture, right? People like to customize the space to their preference. So therefore, we found like it makes more sense to remove this from the price and let each and every investor or end user choose the furniture that he wants. Particularly, also keep in mind that the furniture value is dropping with time, because you have so much competition, and with the ease of manufacturing, the cost of manufacturing furniture is less. So that's why you can find furniture now at more and more affordable prices. So entering to this world is not, or adding this feature is not a plus anymore. It used to be like 10, 15 years ago, but now not anymore.
So we are going to end this conversation. Before ending this conversation, I'm going to have a rapid fire question.
Shoot.
Okay. Your favorite community?
DAMAC Hills.
Your favorite tower in Dubai? Residential?
Residential, DAMAC Bay.
One or two?
One.
Okay. Your, by the way, it's amazing.
Thank you.
The design is amazing. If you put it right next to Marina Bay Sands, it looks ugly. The Marina Bay Sands looks ugly in front of it. Trust me, I'm telling you.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's
that.
amazing. I'm waiting for this to be standing up there, because the entire area of Dubai Harbor is gonna look boring in front of it.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna take the limelight. It's going to be the limelight of it. Amazing project.
Thank you.
Great project, by the way, doctor. Okay, lagoon or golf course?
Personally,
Huh.
golf course.
Okay, and selling lagoon. Interesting.
Because I like golf.
Yes. Okay. The last question. Your favorite landmark project in Dubai and in the world?
In the world, oof, that's a very good one, actually. Look, there's something I want to visit, didn't yet, and I love this building because I was always fascinated by it. It's the New Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain.
Okay.
Like one of the most beautiful projects in the history, maybe.
Okay. And in Dubai, a landmark project.
I'm so fascinated by the Museum of the Future.
And do you think someone can do better than that?
There is always room to do something better. in architecture always. And that's the beauty of the game.
Okay, so Museum of Future, if you would have to design something like that, what would be that design, or what would be the concept of it?
I need months to come up with such an idea. I cannot answer it right now.
But something like, for example, so let's say Dubai Creek Tower, people are assuming that that is going to be the tallest tower in the world after the Burj Khalifa. Do you think that it makes sense to bring another tallest building in the world in Dubai while we already have Burj Khalifa?
Yeah. Because the beauty of those towers is not in the design of the towers themselves or their value as buildings. It's with the value of that they bring in the properties and developments around them. As an example, Burj Khalifa, in my humble view, I don't think it was a highly financially profitable project. But the master developer made so much money from the view towards that tower from the surrounding buildings.
Of course.
So if you have already consumed or you have milked the value created by Burj Khalifa till the end, and it's already the icon of Dubai, why not to create another one?
So Dubai Creek Tower is going to be redesigned probably. Yeah. But you know the existing design.
Yeah.
What do you like about it the most?
Honestly, what I like about it the most is that there was an evolution and lessons learned from Burj Khalifa that has been applied in the new tower. One of them is making it hollow to reduce the construction. I think that was a very intelligent idea.
Okay.
Because by this, you are reducing the construction cost. Technically, you are cutting down on your cost center, but at the same time, still you are creating value around it and making money out of the projects and towers overlooking it.
And building such a project, how long it can take technically?
This is a very tough question because if you ask me about a conventional project, I will answer it in seconds. But for such a technically complex project, under normal conditions, definitely not less than 5 to 6 years. But again, technology of construction now is progressing and Dubai beats all the possible records. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it in a shorter amount of time.
Okay, so thank you very much, Doctor, for your
My
time.
pleasure,
It
Adeel.
was such
Thank you for hosting
an amazing
me.
conversation.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll do it again.
Sure.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time and keep watching.